Hey everyone, uh, Simon here again for the Modern Awakened Perspective, your map for the path to enlightenment. And this has been a day full of technical difficulties. This video I'm having to re-record here because this was a remake of the Jussie Smollett update I did about him being written out of the show Empire. I thought I actually recorded this video earlier, but when I uploaded it, it was a repeat of my first video about Robert Kraft. But the plus side is that at least now I get to fix my sign. Hey, the sign is fixed. You should be able to at least read it now. It's not backwards, it's only backwards on my screen as I record here. So seems I outsmarted myself earlier, and I thought I'd fix it, but then it was backwards to you guys. Technical difficulties for sure. As you can tell, I'm still new at all this video recording and editing, or whatever you call this crap. So anyway, gives me a chance to redo my Jussie Smollett update here, and how he's been written out of his show Empire. His character Jamal is no longer going to be part of the script. So that's basically what this story is about. It's going to be a lot different than the first version because I kind of freestyle it. I write my little outline and kind of freestyle the contents of each video. So as I mentioned, this story is about him being written out of the script. I guess too much drama for them to continue with him. This comes on the heels of him basically going back to the set and to apologize to his castmates for being a distraction. But it was supposedly said that while he was there, he kept firm in his accusations that he was telling the truth. And that, I don't know if they believed him. I'm sure that they're just like everyone else and can see through all the BS and see all the holes in the story, and they know he's lying through his teeth. So, also, it's been floated out there a couple different scenarios as far as why he staged this attack, and maybe staged the letter also. First they said it was because his character was being written off the show, but that didn't happen until today. And so that obviously wasn't the case. And so they put out another story that he was unhappy with his salary. But from what I've heard, he's making it a minimum of $60,000 per episode. And I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. A lot of people don't make that in a year, and he's making that per episode for just memorizing some lines and playing pretend. So it's hard for me to believe that he, was extremely dissatisfied with that to the point where he was willing to risk his freedom and perpetrate these two hoaxes. In my opinion, it goes a lot deeper than that. Now, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but let's just say that his letter and his staged attack both involved a rope around his neck. In the letter, he was hanging from a tree in a picture, and then his two attackers supposedly, put a noose around his neck that he still had around his neck an hour later when the cops showed up at his apartment, his condo, or whatever. And again, if his two bodybuilder buddy attackers, if they wanted to hang him, I'm sure they certainly could. He wasn't going to fight off those two big muscle-bound dudes while he had a sandwich in one hand and a phone in the other. So that tells you, man, this is completely staged among all the other logical and rational points to the story which prove he's so full of crap. And another little side note to the story was that the prosecutor, Kim Fox, the state's attorney, had recused herself from the case, and now they're saying that this was because she wanted to attend a certain Oscar ceremony or something and didn't want to change her plans. Now, I don't know how you can let that interfere with your job like that. And of course, in the beginning, I didn't hear of any real reasoning, and I think they threw this out here as another, just an excuse, when in reality, the true reason is probably a little bit deeper than that. It's been reported that she wants to also attend an event there hosted by Kamala Harris, or in honor of Kamala Harris, or whatever. And it's her, along with some of her friends there in Hollywood. I mean, in Washington, D.C., not Hollywood. Might as well be. It's one and the same. That they're, pushing the anti-lynching bill that was introduced. And to me, it's not a coincidence that about the time that this bill was introduced, that Smollett staged the two events, the letter and the hoax, where a noose was involved. And he's friends with Maxine Waters and these politicians. So it all seems like one giant agenda being pushed there. Him, and then the politicians, and then you have the prosecutor wanting to recuse herself, that she didn't want to prosecute her buddy there. She's probably along the same lines with the same agenda, and didn't want to be part of the prosecution. To me, it goes a lot deeper than what they're saying, and that they're using these excuses as a real cover-up for what was really going on behind the scenes. But that's how I think about it. I don't know what you guys feel. Again, the comment section will be open. If you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, I'd love to hear what you think. Also, the fact that he was making $60,000 an episode, again, it seems like a lot of money, but for how much he's going to have to pay back as far as, the investigation, and he's going to have to pay for all the time and manpower that the detectives and the FBI even had to put in on this case. He's really probably going to be hurting for money soon. And if he, just like being written out of his show here, he doesn't get hired to do any more acting. He's not that good of an actor, evidently, anyway, if his little staged event didn't be too believable. He wasn't too believable, so he's not that good of an actor anyway, in my opinion. So, along with this information, it came out to my knowledge here that he paid the Nigerian brothers as reported, but he wrote a check to those guys. So he's not very smart here in trying to cover up his crime. And he actually had written a text message to them also, to the one that's I assume to the one who was an extra on his show, that he needed his help on the down low, and that can we meet face to face. So there's a big trail of evidence, a paper trail, whatever you want to call it. There's all kinds of trails leading to him and this ridiculous hoax that he tried to pull off, and all the politicians there tried to get on his bandwagon and make all Trump supporters look bad. I think it was Harris, a new presidential candidate, jumped right on that and said that his attack, supposed attack, was a modern day lynching. Now that the truth has come out, she has failed to apologize for sensationalizing this whole story, which could have turned out to be really bad as far as if other people had jumped to conclusions like the supposed politicians jumped to a conclusion. To me, I don't think it was that. I think it was something much deeper. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. That's my perspective. Please let me know how you feel. And I'll see you guys on the next one.